Oh, excuse you, ma'am. Was he too close to your baby? The next week is going to be absolutely insane here on the farm. Well, hey, friends. So it is a very chilly morning. It looks bright and sunny, but the reality is it is 16 degrees right now, which is a little bit below my threshold for the cold. But so exciting. I have a very good surprise in the barn for you guys. Good morning, sheep. Come on, let's go see what's in the barn. Before we go in, here's your hint. I have a towel. Come on. What do you have there, Mama? Good job, Millie. What do you have there? Is that a pretty girl? So our sweet Millie had a little girl, a little ewe lamb, all on her own last night. Come here, sweet girl. She obviously did a great job because, I mean, just everything is perfect. I came in this morning, the lamb was nursing. She's right here, Mama. Mama, she's right here. She's right here. But she was a little bit damp still. So I wanted to just dry her off. It's 16 degrees, so you need to be warm. Come here, Mama. Millie, come here. I know, say that's my Mama. She's right here. There you go. I know, I just want to dry you off. I'll give you right back. Good girl. It has become so clear to me with both first Mabel's birth and then Millie's now that these sheep, these American blackbelly sheep, they're phenomenal mothers. Now, maybe I just got really lucky with these two, or maybe that's just in the genetics of their breed, but I know, you're almost done. But goodness, what a good mama. No birthing issues at all, and they're so healthy. The babies nurse right away. The mamas stay with them. I mean, just, oh, so good. All right. Yes, there you go. There you go. She is such a sweet little girl. I am so excited. Okay, now let's talk. Oh, excuse you, ma'am. Was he too close to your baby? See, good mama. Now, okay, let's talk plans for our sheep. So when we initially got Mabel and Millie, the plan was just to have a couple of sheep because I honestly prefer the meat out of our sheep to the meat from our goats. Now, the flip-flop is I prefer our goats for the milk. We've thought about dairy sheep before, but the reality is they just, even the biggest producers, just don't hold a candle to goats. And so we need a lot of milk. We're a family of 7 and we need a lot of milk. And so goats are definitely the way to go for milk. I think sheep are definitely the way to go for meat. So that's why we have a mixed herd of both. Good job, Mama. But with the amazing success we've had with these two mamas, I don't know. I'm thinking maybe we will expand our herd a little bit. I also have conveniently now 2 additional ewe lambs. So one from Mabel from about 3 months ago, and now number 2 right here that perhaps could be kept as future breeders for us so that then we would have 4 ewes and we could have a lot of lambs each year. All right. You know, I would be happier if you guys would not be by the boys, but I guess that's your choice, huh, Mama? Now, as far as a ram, because you can't get babies without a ram, obviously Mabel in her birth gave birth to a ram, but he's obviously the, full sibling to the ewe lamb that I might be keeping. He's also the son of one of the moms. He would be half brother to Trudy, our first sheep. Oh, Trudy, 5 ewes. Oh my goodness, I forgot about Trudy. So right now we have 2 mamas. We have Trudy, who's an up and comer, so she would be our 3rd mama. And then we have 2 more ewe lambs that I could potentially keep to be up to 5 mamas. Oh my goodness, that's exciting. But anyway, I have this ram lamb back here who I could use, but he's just so closely related to everybody that that's really not a good plan. And so I made the decision, a while back, but yesterday he got banded. So he is soon to be a wether rather than an intact ram. So he's going to be just meat for our freezer, which is awesome. And he'll be a buddy for our future ram lamb who should be coming in the spring. Now, I am super excited about the ram lamb that is coming this spring because I was able to snag a ram lamb from Harmony Farms. And so if you're not familiar with Harmony Farms and the shepherdess at Harmony Farms, this is a fellow YouTuber who just puts out phenomenal content. She has probably the most educational and analytical farming content out there. And just so happens to be like an hour away from me. And so I was really excited when she posted that she was taking deposits on ram lambs for the spring because I jumped at it because I so badly would love to have some of her stock here. And let me tell you why. So one of our big things whenever it comes to, I mean, honestly, any of our animals, but obviously sheep, is just parasites. And so we have struggled a little bit. This is Mabel back here, our first mama, and she has really struggled with parasites since giving birth. And I think it's just the depletion on her body. You know, it is so draining to feed two babies that are, I mean, nearly the same size that you are. And so I think she has just really, really struggled to keep the weight on. But we would like to improve those genetics. So we are getting a Dorper ram from her who will definitely be adding some meat to the bone and some really phenomenal parasite resistance. So all that said, I cannot wait until a little bit later in the spring, it might be even early summer, when we finally get to go pick him up. And so our little ram lamb over here who just got banded, he'll be a buddy for him until he's old enough to breed all these ladies. So that's our big grand plan with the sheep. It's not, you know, anything really big or grand, but it is really exciting because we have loved being able to get to the point where we are really sustainable with the meat that our family is eating. And, you know, we started like everybody does in farming with the Cornish cross chickens. And the reality of the Cornish cross chicken is it's a phenomenal meat option. I mean, phenomenal. But it's not very sustainable because you can't breed your own Cornish cross chickens. Now, there are, of course, big meat breed chickens that you can sustainably breed yourself, but they're never going to match up to the bulk or the speed at which a Cornish cross grows. And so, I mean, it's one of those things where if you want to raise your own chicken, you kind of have to accept that you're going to have slower gains. It's going to cost a little bit more. And then you're going to have to pluck the thing at the end. And we realized we were over that. So that led us to our rabbits. And the rabbits have been a phenomenal meat option. We have loved them because they're so hands-off compared to raising chickens or even ducks. You know, I have to go in and feed every day, tend to them, make sure they're okay. Rabbits, I literally make sure there's food in the colony, there's water in the colony, and the colony is a safe setup. That's it. And so I have these big feeders for them. Both sides of the colony have big feeders. We have automatic water bowls hidden back here somewhere with the, you know, big 55-gallon barrels. And so, hi Trudy, hi sweet girl. And so it is so, so easy. Excuse me, did you just want to be in the video? Needs more attention. And so rabbits are so easy to raise because the mama's gonna take care of them. I mean, you know, there's no incubating eggs, there's no brooding chicks. Rabbits, mama takes care of it. It is so great. And I don't have to pluck it at the end. Rabbits are really easy to skin. Anyway, I'm getting on a tangent. We chose sheep because their meat is phenomenal and I don't have to feed them grain like we were doing with our cows. We raised cows for a few years and I mean, it was great to raise your own beef. Awesome. But the reality was we were doing our, you know, numbers at the end of the year, which it's about time right now for everybody to be doing numbers for their farms for the end of the year last year. And we would look at the numbers and realize, oh my goodness. One, we potentially could have just bought all this at the grocery store for this price. And two, how on earth are we feeding that much grain? And so we realized cows were not really the best option. Now, if you have 100 acres and just a few cows, go for it. We had more cows than our land could handle. You know, we have like 18 acres, which is, I mean, it's big and beautiful, but when you put, 8 cows on 18 acres, if you don't have good pasture, you have hungry cows. And so the reality was we were putting a lot of hay and a lot of grain into them. And at the end of the day, ended up with a product that was grain-fed beef, not grass-fed, and cost us an arm and a leg. And you could just buy that at the grocery store. I mean, it was a little bit better to be homegrown for sure, but not quite what we have here with these sheep. And so that brings us to what we're doing now, which is raising sheep and goats out on pasture. We do feed our dairy mamas, anybody who's in milk, we feed grain because they do need that extra boost of calories. But anybody who's going to the freezer, I mean, they get hay in the winter, but otherwise they just get sunshine and grass. And personally, I think that that is such a better food for us. One, it's way better when I run the numbers at the end of the year because it does not cost me an arm and a leg to raise this meat, but it is better for our bodies. It's better for my family. I know that this meat that they're getting is really, really good quality. Well, I hope I haven't thrown you off too much by starting a video with, oh, look at this cute baby, and then talking about the realities of meat for the rest of the video. But the reality is, life on a farm, everything needs to have a purpose. We don't really have many pets. We have livestock. And so I think it's really awesome that we have a purpose for these animals. We are able to give them really, really excellent lives. They live happy lives out on pasture, which I really think is better than a lot of the industry farming practices. So I will get off my high horse. We will go back into the barn and look at the baby. Now, before we go, let's check out some of these pregnant ladies. Amy, you're huge, baby girl. Hi, Queenie. And here's Ruby. Ruby is due any day now as well. So hilariously, Amy is not. Amy has a full month still. Oh, girl. Oh, girl. Amy has a lot of time left. Ruby's due in about a week. And probably has 2 in there. That's what I'm guessing. Huh, what do you think, Rubes? 2 in there? And then we've got Miss Leia. Leia is our big question mark on the due date. She might be due in a couple days. She might be due in a month. We don't know. Miss Sequoia here, though, she is our first one up. And so we are checking ligaments every day. I don't think babies today. Is it going to be just one this year? It was one last year. And then London, same thing. She's due in just a few days. We're checking her ligaments as well. You're pretty wide load there too, London. And then lastly, the piggy over here, we have Vin. Vin, do you want to say hi? No, she's busy feeding those babies. So Vin is also due in just about 1 week. And so the next week is going to be absolutely insane here on the farm because I have 6 mamas due in the next week, and then Amy is due in about a month. And so it's going to be so crazy. I'm really excited about it. I like the idea of getting it over with just because it's sleepless nights, being out here in the barn. I do wish it was not 16 degrees overnight because it's going to be a little bit uncomfortable for me. But we will all survive. It's only a week or 2, and then we will have so many beautiful babies on the ground that I will forget how miserable it is. But until then, I'm glad that I can enjoy this one very adorable lamb that we have. Are you keeping your baby so warm? What a good mama you are. I am very pleased that it seems like Millie knows that she needs to keep her baby in the barn today. They are not going to go out and graze. So I'll probably bring her something warm to drink and some hay so that she doesn't have to go far. But such a good mama. I'm so excited for it. Well, the reality is I totally missed this birth, which is not surprising. Apparently, I am terrible at guessing sheep birth, due dates. Now, if we had a real due date, because I knew when she got bred, that'd be one thing. But without a due date, I think it was like 10 days ago that I thought that she was starting labor Thankfully, I realized quickly she was not, but with Mabel, I think it was over 2 weeks that I was off on her due date from when I thought she was going to labor until she actually gave birth. So the reality is, I may never guess it right on these sheep, but I do know my due dates on the goats, and I think I am pretty good at guessing when labor is going to start. And so the reality is, we should have a lot of goat birth videos coming up very soon. So if you haven't yet, please do hit that subscribe button down below. That way you won't miss them. They will be coming out, I mean, hopefully within the next few days. Definitely within the next week, we'll have one for you. Well, in the meantime, we're going to stay warm in the barn, and I wanted to say a huge thank you for watching our video. We'll see you guys in the next one.